Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wave. There's a quiet pressure that sits on the shoulders of a lot of men today, and most of the time, it isn't talked about. It isn't posted in Instagram captions or debated openly among friend groups. It lives in silence, tucked away behind jokes, gym selfies, and casual comments. It's the idea that a man isn't truly desirable, successful, or even worthy unless his body looks a certain way. Lean, muscular, sculpted, athletic. It's the standard that men are expected to meet without ever admitting they feel its weight. Unrealistic male body standards are everywhere. They're plastered on magazine covers, hidden in action movies, showcased in superhero franchises, and even baked into video games. The ideal man has six-pack abs, broad shoulders, a chiseled jawline, and almost zero body fat. He's tall, he's strong. Somehow he manages to maintain this physique without ever really even seeming to try. It's presented as natural, effortless, the baseline for what a man should be. And that's where the danger starts, because what we're told is normal is often anything but. The truth is, the vast majority of men will never look like these cultural ideals, not because they lack discipline or strength, but because these standards are literally manufactured. Actors undergo months of extreme training and diets before filming shirtless scenes, often dehydrating themselves just to look more shredded on camera. Fitness models manipulate lighting, angles, and even Photoshop to exaggerate muscle definition. And social media influencers cherry-pick their best moments, often enhancing with steroids or PEDs they'll never admit to using. Oh God, we love fake natties. And yet, men watching at home internalize these images at the minimum requirement for masculinity. The psychological impact of this can't be understated. Research has shown that the body image issues amongst men are rising sharply. More and more men report feeling dissatisfied with their appearance, particularly their muscle size and body fat. Eating disorders, once stereotyped as primarily affecting women, are now a growing problem among men. The constant push to bulk up, cut down, or achieve Greek god aesthetics is leaving many men trapped in cycles of guilt, shame, and unhealthy behaviors. Think about it. Men are told from a young age that their worth is tied to strength. Boys hear phrases like man up, don't be weak, look tough. Those words translate into a lifelong pressure to embody physical dominance. But here's the paradox. While the cultural script demands peak physical perfection, life rarely allows the time, resources, or genetics to really match it. So men are stuck in an impossible game, one where failure just feels inevitable. Social media has only really magnified this. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are flooded with fitness influencers trying to show off their hyper-idealized physiques, turning bodies into commodities. And the algorithms reward the most extreme examples of this. So the feed you scroll through daily becomes saturated with men whose physiques are far outside the average. And when comparison becomes constant, insecurity becomes inevitable. Even when guys who are in great shape often feel they're not enough because the goalposts just keep moving. There's always someone leaner, bigger, stronger. But here's the deeper layer. Unrealistic male body standards aren't just about the looks. They bleed into your identity. Many men equate their physical form with a sense of value. If they don't feel strong enough, they'll feel less masculine. If they don't look muscular enough, they'll feel less worthy of love, less respected by their peers, and less powerful in the world. It's not just an image problem. It's a self-worth problem at the end of the day. And this is where the danger just becomes generational. We've entered an era where teenage boys are increasingly insecure about their bodies, even turning to steroids at alarmingly young ages. Supplements, extreme diets, and dangerous shortcuts have become normal. What used to be an insecurity whispered in locker rooms is now amplified online for millions to see. We're raising young men who believe that to be accepted, they must look like a superhero at all times. And if they don't, they've failed. But here's the truth that rarely gets said. Masculinity is not measured in inches around your biceps. It's It's not defined by your body fat percentage. It doesn't disappear if you skip the gym for a week. Real strength has always been more than muscle. It's discipline. It's kindness. It's resilience, integrity. It's how you carry yourself. How you treat the people who can do nothing for you. How you build a life with meaning beyond the mirror. This doesn't mean fitness is bad. Taking care of your health, moving your body, and challenging yourself physically are deeply valuable. The problem isn't exercise, it's expectation. When working out becomes less about health and more about punishment, when nutrition becomes obsession instead of balance, when self-worth becomes dependent on your reflection, that's when the standard becomes toxic. So, how do we push back? It starts with honesty, with men actually admitting, yeah, I feel this pressure too. With conversations that strip away the facade and acknowledge the insecurity isn't weakness, it's human. It continues with rethinking what we can celebrate, applauding consistency over the extremes, health over aesthetics, and effort over perfection. And it grows when men stop comparing themselves to airbrushed ideals and start focusing on their own journey, their own version of strength. It's honestly about representation. The more we see diverse male bodies, different shapes, different sizes, and different definitions of health, the less power unrealistic standards will hold. Just as the conversation around women's body image has evolved, so too must the conversation for men. The more real we are, the freer everyone becomes. At the end of the day, unrealistic male body standards trap men in the same cycle that unrealistic female body standards have for decades. A cycle of inadequacy, shame, and endless striving for an image that isn't even real in the first place. But there is another way, and it doesn't require six-pack abs. It requires reframing what strength, health, and overall masculinity mean. Because when the bar for being enough is no longer set by Hollywood or Photoshop or Instagram filters, men can finally stop chasing bodies that aren't theirs in the first place and start building lives that truly are. Thank you so much for listening.